He promised to remember her, now he must save her people from extinction. The beacon had sung for 9 years before anyone answered it. It pulsed steadily above Elian's blue clouds, one human voice repeating a message of mercy through the silence of a dying world. If you go there, do not conquer. Do not claim. Go as I did, with open hands. When the Terran fleet finally reached the coordinates, they found a small orbital ruin still transmitting, held together by patchwork repairs and faith. Inside, they found Dr. Elias Ward, alive, though aged beyond his years, hands trembling but eyes bright. He had waited, listening to the static between stars. "Command sent me to bring you home," the captain said. Elias only shook his head. "Home isn't where I came from. It's what I left unfinished." Below them, Elian's atmosphere shimmered with auroral fire. Reports told of cities buried beneath toxic storms, of people still surviving underground, their numbers dwindling. Elias listened without comment, then quietly asked a single question. "Is there any way to reach them?" No one could persuade him otherwise. The Terrans feared contamination, seismic instability, and crustal collapse. But the man who had once chosen solitude among the stars did not fear dying on the world he had promised to remember. They gave him a shuttle and one assistant drone. He descended through clouds thick as oceans, guided by fragments of the old Elianese signal. His landing craft struck a plain of crystalline ash, lightning strobed along the horizon. And there, among the wreckage of the ancient capital, he saw a faint light flicker, 3 pulses, the same rhythm his beacon used. He followed it. Beneath collapsed towers and glass-veined dust, he found a chamber carved into living stone. Within it, the remnants of Elian's people huddled around a reactor dying of power loss. Their skin had turned pale from generations underground, eyes luminous with bioluminescent tears. And at their center stood Leora, older, thinner, but still radiant. For a long moment, neither spoke. The wind howled through the broken dome above them. Then she whispered, voice breaking. "You came back." Elias smiled faintly. "You asked for help. I'm a doctor. That's what we do." Elian was dying, not from war or famine, but from time. The planet's molten heart had cooled, its magnetic field failing. Without it, radiation devoured the atmosphere, and every year their shelters grew weaker. Elias walked among the survivors, taking readings, asking questions, mapping the decay. He realized that the reactor sustaining the underground sanctuary was beyond repair, but its design echoed ancient Terran fusion systems. If he could bridge their failing core to the beacon satellite above, he could draw enough power to stabilize the atmospheric shield for one last generation, long enough for evacuation. The others told him it was impossible. The distance, the radiation, his age. He only nodded. "Then let's do the impossible quickly." The control spire lay atop a ridge 3 kilometers above ground, accessible only through storm-torn cliffs. Elias insisted on climbing alone, too many Elianese had already risked themselves for centuries. Leora refused. "I will not lose you again to the sky." So they climbed together. Lightning split the clouds, painting the ruins in silver fire. The wind carried dust that glowed like embers. Halfway up, a tremor tore through the ridge, and Leora slipped. Elias caught her wrist, anchoring her with the last of his strength. "Let go," she gasped. "Not while I breathe," he said. By the time they reached the top, his pulse was erratic, his lungs burning. But the spire still stood, fractured but alive, its circuits humming faintly under centuries of corrosion. He connected the beacon's signal array to the reactor core via manual override, a task requiring direct synchronization. The radiation levels were lethal. She realized his intent too late. "Elias, you can't." "I can," he said softly. "Someone must hold the link steady while the energy transfers. Your people need time. I have time left to give." She pressed her hand to his chest. "You'll die." He smiled, weary but serene. Then let this be a good death. I've lived too long in silence. Let me end in a purpose. He stepped into the control field, the chamber flooding with blue light. Through the glass, she watched as he placed both hands on the console. Energy surged, crawling along his veins like molten stars. The ancient reactor groaned, power arcing upward through the beacon, carrying his voice once more to the skies. This is Dr. Elias Ward, Station Perseid 6. The people of Elian live. We stand with them. The field flared, white, searing, infinite, and then stilled. When the storm cleared, the atmosphere shimmered with a new aurora, a band of color spanning horizon to horizon. The shield held. The radiation subsided. The planet lived. In the silence that followed, only his voice remained, echoing from the beacon. If you ever feel alone among the stars, listen. Someone will answer. Generations later, the alliance between humanity and the Elianese would mark that moment as the true beginning of the galactic concord. Elias Ward's name became a vow spoken by medics, explorers, and diplomats alike. Leora herself led the rebuilding of her world. When she addressed the first joint assembly of humans and Elianese, she spoke not of technology or treaties, but of one man who chose mercy over fear. He did not come to rule us, nor to save himself. He came because he heard a cry in the dark, and answered. Above Elian, the beacon still glowed. And through it, every ship that passed within 100 light-years could hear a faint melody woven through static, the same tune once hummed by an alien princess aboard a dying shuttle, and answered by a lonely man who had learned to care again.